folks, I'm Paul LaBar, and this is basic finish line procedure as Southern Colorado Runners performs it. One of the first things that we have to remember when we're doing a finish line is that we have to match the time with the order in which a person crossed the finish line, and we know who that person is based on their bib number. So, the whole goal of timing is for a time to be captured when they cross the finish line, for the runners to stay in order as they pass through the chute, and for the tags to be pulled off of the bib so that we can match that person's number up with their name. And then we can determine who's first, second, third, and fourth down the line. We have computer equipment that sorts everything out if you're trying to figure out who is the first place winner in a certain age group. But the basic procedure is always the same since the computer does all the hard work. So for this example, we're going to use Paulette Arns. She's going to come across the finish line as though she is a runner. And the first thing you'll notice that as she crosses, these folks are going to hit their timing devices. Now, what's going to happen is that she has to stay in order here, and then when she gets to this point, there's going to be a person that pulls the tag off and hands it to the person that puts it on the spindle. These tags will go in order on this spindle.
Face down.
Face down. Now eventually what happens is that we get enough of them that we do a second procedure which is called batch. This is where somebody who's working in the finish line yells batch. They go through here, they grab the tape and get in line so that any finishers have to stay behind them. And they walk through until they get to the point where the person that's pulling tags is located, and then they grab the spindle. And they take the piece of paper and affix it to the spindle, and then they walk over to the people that are doing results with the computer. After this has occurred, the person that is working with the spindles will start a new spindle immediately, so that the next set of finishers that are behind the person that was batching can be recorded. Each spindle has a number written on it, usually on the white tag with all the finishing times on there, that indicates the order in which they were collected. That way, as they're generating results, if they have a question about somebody that finished, they can determine which batch they were in and more easily identify where the correction needs to be made. Occasionally, someone will cross the finish line that is either not in the race or is already finished. This is common when you have an adult and a child or a spouse, and the person that is running the race wants to finish with that person because they're so excited at this other person's accomplishment. Occasionally we'll also have a runner that will come around the corner and go, oh look, there's a finish line, and they'll just run right through it. Or somebody that's just a spectator and isn't aware of what's going on, and they will enter the chute as well. In any one of those cases, the timer is supposed to always record a time for anybody that crosses, and then we correct this later with the computer equipment. In order to know that somebody has finished incorrectly, we have these things that we call bandits or turkey tags, and what happens is the individual that is pulling tags will pull this out of their pocket. They'll take this tag, which is obviously not from a bib, and they'll make a note on there, perhaps the bib number of the person that had crossed. Occasionally we also get a circumstance where somebody pulled their tag off, and so this allows them to write a number it. But most commonly, the problem is the person wasn't supposed to cross in the first place. So we force them to stay in line with everybody else, and when they get to the point where their tag is going to be pulled, instead they receive one of these, and then that's handed to the person that's spindling. That way we have a place for the finisher that wasn't part of the race.
We got two here.
Alright. Good job, guys. Alright, let's get your bib. Thank you. Good job, man.
Good job.
No, number 6.
Here comes the bat.
Rather small ones rather than big. So all the bibs are placed facing down. I will write number 1 on this, so that we can tell that that's number 1 right there.
Okay.
And then I will carry it over to the computer.
28. Okay, and then we're going to tear that off.
So
We're not really going to make it official. Thank you. Thank you.